The following is brought to you by the People's National Party.
Make the trumpets play. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. To get champion, we can do it together. When we look to the future of precipice, we see Jamaica needs the vision of the PNP. People said the bag of promises, them can't carry go shop. And the crime rate getting higher, wonder when it does stop, comrades. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. To get champion.
The proceeding was brought to you by the People's National Party.
Jamaica Diaspora Crime Intervention and Prevention Task Force, in association with the Global Jamaican Diaspora Council, presents on the 26th of July 2024 Jamaicans and Friends of Jamaica. Join us in conference as we speak against corruption, crime, poverty, failed healthcare, poor education, and injustice in Jamaica. This takes place on the 26th of July at 1320 Ellesmere Road, Ontario, Canada. This conference starts 3 till 10 p.m. Guest speakers on the day: Wayne Lonesome, Will Rattigan, Mystic Sensation, Herb Nelson Jr., Aromatic, Sister Maria, Jamaican Carlos, Dr. Rupert Francis, Jeffrey Tavares, and more. This is going to be a very important event for all Jamaicans and friends of Jamaica. Don't miss this event if you care about our country. Jamaicans in the diaspora, we can make a difference.
Hello, welcome. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to those in television land. Happy Tuesday to all our silent supporters. Happy Tuesday to those in the chat. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate each and everyone's support. Hope everyone is having a wonderful and productive week so far. And remember, guys, when you come in, thumbs up the live, share us out if you can. And if you're new to the channel, please show us some support by subscribing. It will be greatly appreciated. So tonight's topic is Andrew Holness threatens our freedom of speech and democratic rights, with your host, Byron and Anne-Marie. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. So let me just quickly, go back over here. So please remember to support Daisy Magazine, and please remember the Diaspora conference that's coming up on July 26th in Toronto, and it will be at 1320 Ellesmere Road. So please turn out and support. If you can't, make sure that you join us online. All right, so let me just quickly welcome those in the chat. Judith Livermore, Jeffrey Worrell, Andrea Hunt, Jeanette Letts, Sulfur, welcome. Oh, it jumped. Janet Jones, welcome. Rennie Swaby, Sonia Ellis, Des Thomas, G. Angel, Freedom, Meline Bowman, Dorothy McCoy, Petra Alexander, Laris Beckford, Vandetta Kinglord, Violet Watson, Montague James, Yvonne Johnson, Sonia Foster, Louis Longshaw, Naturally Tammy, Yokol Allen, Florence Brown, Marva McLean, Anthony R., Sonia, again, Frederica Watson. Welcome. Happy Tuesday. Thank you so much for tuning in. Orville Reeves, good evening. Without any delays, I'm going to hand over to Byron.
Thank you, Annie, as always, for that wonderful precursor. Let me grace the stage by saying a big thanks to all of our subscribers. right? And for those who joined us recently, we are so happy for you to be a part of the family, right? You know that over here, we always state truthfulness with evidence. And there is no way that Mystic Sensation is going to speak on issues and don't have the evidence. Now, having said that, my gentle people, we have seen the Prime Minister, and let me tell you, when I say pressure, bust pipe, of course, it is true. We can see that there is tantamount of pressure that reaching Andrew Holness and his government, and rightly so. So let me warn Andrew that whatever threat that you have, Mr. Holness, in terms of wanting to suppress social media, let me say this: you cannot suppress social media, sir. Right? You ought to know that social media is not a part of your jurisdiction. Having said that, you have no control over social media space. Let me also say to you again, as it relates to the Charter of Rights, the Charter of Rights give us our fundamental rights to freedom of speech. Let me say that to you. And let me warn you, Mr. Holness, and of course your minions. Now, when you come out and you speak that social media, of course, persons who are bringing the truth to light, and you talk that we are bringing disinformation, misinformation, let me say one thing to you, Mr. Holness. Whenever you come and speak, I want for you to speak and present the lies that we have told. So then we can address you specifically on those that you claim that we are lying about and disinformation. Everything that we play, right? The people definitely see you speaking. And the evidence that we present, those are evidence within the mainstream media. So then, if you're saying that we are lying, then it's tantamount to say that you are saying that mainstream media lying. No, apart from mainstream media, we investigate, we do deep dive on all what you're saying, Mr. Holness. Everything that you're doing, the dark clouds, right? The curtain that you're drawing, it's all about your statutory declaration that you want me to stop from speak about. We are not going to stop and speak about that. Your statutory declaration is essential, very essential. Illicit enrichment is what we are targeting. Good governance is what we are talking. And let me say this. Now, we know that the People's National Party is going to take over the realms of power. And when they do that, we are defending the rights of Jamaicans. Let me warn from now. That means it's simple that if any People's National Party candidate goes in power and said, okay, all right, Mystic Sensation seems like he in favor of us, right? So we are going to do things. They are not going to speak about it. Let me warn, we are here to protect the interests of Jamaican people, not party. I don't hide my affiliation as it relates to democratic socialism, right? That source through the People's National Party. I don't hide that. I am clear in terms of where I stand. But that doesn't mean that Mystic Sensation is going to get any investigation as it relates to any corruption that People's National Party is doing, and I'm going to cover it. No, it's not going to happen. So let me make that definitively clear as it relates to where we stand, right? And remember, we are legitimate investigators. So then we are not going to make our certification, right, in any form of turmoil. We are going to defend our integrity. So what I'm saying, that we are going to speak true term. And I want people to understand that. So this is where we are at. Now, and so then, let me now address Mr. Andrew Holness. You are not going to have a stop. Right? And let me say this. Providing that you are still a part of the government, sir, we are going to highlight the truth, because at this point in time, you should have been charged and lining up yourself to be prosecuted. Mystic sensation to that. At this point in time, Andrew Holness, you not able to have your statutory declaration certified, you should be charged. But later on in the program, we are going to show the people why you have not been charged. Even though it is now June 25th, it is the 25th of June. And we are anticipating the IC report to publish or to gazette Mark Golding statutory declaration. And we have, call it one more week for June to end. We need to get some information on your statutory declaration. Simple means your 2023 statutory declaration, which you should have filed already. Mark Golding came out and definitively stated that he submitted statutory declaration and the Integrity Commission have Mark Golding's statutory declaration verified, certified. Sir, we are waiting on you. You have sent out your minions and you want to burn down the Integrity Commission. But let me say that. Greg Christie, I want to say to you, Greg Christie, because you're a man of character, and I'm going to explain it, and people need to understand. It is Greg Christie who is holding up the banner of Jamaica. Greg Christie. Greg Christie is not going to have your statutory declaration certified when they cannot be certified. Having said that, let us go into the program and hear what Mr. Holness has to say. Okay. And then, of course, we are going to address it. Because we're ready for him tonight, people. Yes. Mystic Sensation ready for him tonight. Yes.
A young person made a post on social media that bordered on being defamatory, probably libelous. The person was tracked and their identity discovered. Long and short, the person was put up to doing this by another political organization. And we have been tracking several such cases where you see some posts being made that border on defamatory or libelous. And when you dig behind, which we have the capabilities to do, and to discover the people behind these accounts, there are young persons being recruited to do this. It is purely out of good conscience that many of them we don't pursue because they are young people. They are being misled. They are being used for the wrong purpose. They are being used to, because they are native to social media, they are being used to manipulate social media, to comment on posts negatively, to spread rumors about people, to do some really nasty things. I'm not going to say too much about our capabilities to track it. And we have been tracking. And you're going to see some actions very shortly for those persons who are using social media much of what is being done is in fact against the law. I want to say to you, the people who have chosen to be a part of the Jamaica Labour Party, the Jamaica Labour Party does not use or endorse the use of social media to attack people's character, to assassinate people's character, to spread misinformation. We have too many good news items, too many achievements that you need to promote without having to resort to attacking people. No, we deal with policies and programs and principles. People who don't have policies, who don't have programs, and don't have principles, they try to attack people. People who don't have good news try to spread bad news. And where there is no bad news to spread, they create falsehoods. There was a time when we would have been silent about this and allow it to go on. But the world in which we live in, the world has never had the capability, as it does now, to create and generate misinformation at a scale and speed that it influences people who are normally rational and reasonable people. It is now at a point where even degreed people, people who have gone to school, studied in the highest institutions of the land, they are not able to discern the nonsense that comes to their phone. They're calling me and asking me if it's true. It's amazing. They don't know that there is an entire industry called fake news. An industry set up just to do that. They call it entertainment. And if you fall for it, them say, but it's not my fault. You know, should I know better? But a lot of people don't know better. A lot of people stay home and they're on their phones or they're watching on their computers utter nonsense and rubbish. But they are not able to discern that it is not so. Because as long as they see it on TV or it appears to them on their screen, they take it as fact. But that's not the world in which we live in. Unmoderated information is being presented. Now, there are societies that we look on them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to stop that one there.
So, people, let me stop him right there in his tracks. First, I want to tell the Prime Minister that, okay, all right, if you want to track Mystic Sensation IP address, feel free to track it. No, but this is what I want you to track. Because what we are saying is not for entertainment. What we are calling facts, and you know that these are facts. The 2021 Statutory Declaration cannot be certified. That is not for entertainment purpose. The 2022 Statutory Declaration cannot be certified. Sir, that is not for entertainment purpose. your 2023 statutory declaration not being certified is not for entertainment purpose. You can sell that to your base where, I mean, they are so gullible. They don't know how to think. You can sell that to them. But guess what? To rational people who listen to us, the rational people is saying, let me tell you what the rational people are saying. The rational people are saying, wait, the Prime Minister should be able to have his statutory declarations for 2021, 2022, 2023 verified. Those are not for entertainment. So when you come with a bag of lies, right, and you want to show your distortion, and you want to blame the People's National Party, to say that the People's National Party are linking up with social media, you understand, to tell lies. No, Mr. Holness, that card that you are drawing is violence you want. Violence. It is definitely violence you are preparing for. But before you prepare for the violence, remember, let me tell you, you have 320 pipe bombs that Patrick Bailey cannot speak about. So whatever thing you are preparing, because we know you, we know the draft that you are playing, you realize that you're in a bind. You realize that you're in a predicament. And you realize that time come. And so then guess what? Guess what, Mr. Prime Minister? It's all about your statutory declaration. Yes. And illicit enrichment. $700 billion get ruptured out of the healthcare. COVID-19 money unaccounted for. Look on our healthcare, a deplorable healthcare, right? And yet you come here trying to intimidate us on social media. It will never work because we will never stop. Right? We are going to hold you accountable. $1.7 trillion missing from our treasury. Not billion dollars, $1.7 trillion. Right? I have the time for you tonight, you know, so may I take time with you tonight. Yes, pleasant afternoon. You have reached Mystic Sensation.
Yo, man.
Yes, go ahead.
Man, I am convinced that this matter is either living in a different world or is totally out of his mind.
You're right.
I know somebody will see him. Because if he might say for him, social media warrior them, don't spread misinformation and propaganda.
No.
That man, you don't really live in our real world.
Yes.
And just about everybody who supporting party, they don't live in our real world.
Exactly.
What the man do? Everything what they do. Since the year start, since the PNP start lead them, everything what they do is distraction from the facts.
From the facts.
And whatever going to tell the Jamaican people, they might throw something in your spokes.
Yes.
Yeah?
Throwing monkey wrench in the spokes.
Yeah, throw monkey wrench in the spokes. Them man are wicked.
Exactly.
But the man going on.
I'm going to deal with him properly tonight. All right. Bless up yourself, my brother. All right. Good. Past sickness. So when the Prime Minister is talking about us, why the Prime Minister not silent Chopper John? Chopper John, who always run out and tell lies upon top of lies, right? Chopper John in social media, right, trying to defend you, right? And we have other creatures Black Widow,
Then name out in Parliament.
right? Who protecting you, and we know who is the Black Widow, right? Who is protecting you, right? What? They're not in social media? Okay. All right. Let us go on in terms of what the Prime Minister continue to say, because we are going into the detail. We want to show Jamaica people in locally and in the diaspora, right? Who is Andrew Holness? The truth about Andrew Holness. Yes.
People who don't have good news try to spread bad news. And where there is no bad news to spread, they create falsehoods. There was a time when we would have been silent about this and allow it to go on. But the world in which we live in, the world has never had the capability, as it does now, to create and generate misinformation at a scale and speed that it influences people who are normally rational and reasonable people. It is now at a point where even degreed people who have gone to school, studied in the highest institutions of the land, they are not able to discern the nonsense that comes to their fold. It's amazing. They don't know that there is an entire industry called fake news.
All right. The industry that called fake news that you create. Now, we are going to show the people, right, why you are trembling, Mr. Prime Minister. Time come. People, the Prime Minister reality finally comes home to him. The People's National Party being successful in the local government election, the Prime Minister now aware that, yes, he's going to lose the general election. So, Andrew Holness, stay on the safe path. Don't go down to the road of violence, because right now what you're doing, you're trying to create mischief against the People's National Party. You have no evidence. In the same breath that you're talking about misinformation in social media, while you are doing that, you don't realize that you are now blaming the People's National Party to say that they are the ones who are behind this. Let me ask you, Andrew Holness, where is your evidence? This is what we talk about. You being a narcissist, a hypocrite. Where is the evidence that you have seen a People's National Party member of Parliament, right, having dialogue with any social media blogger, right, and so-called according to you, right, telling them what to say or what to do? This goes to the length and breadth that you are a diabolical liar and trying to create mischief against the People's National Party. But guess what? We are watching you, and we know that your government stored the 320 pipe bombs. Now ring that over your head, Now ring that over your head to tell you, Andrew Holness, that don't go down to the lane of 1980 general election, right, where Siaga, as a result of his action, many Jamaicans died. So guess what? As I said, as it relates to social media, we are monitoring you. Yes, we are monitoring your movements. Let us get into the deep dive. Now, Prime Minister Andrew Holness, I am going to show you the clip that I'm going to play. I'm going to play a clip used for you, right? And show you why you need to worry. So without any further delay, I have time for you tonight. I make sure that I gathered all my evidence and me step out for you tonight. Without.
Okay.
So, Prime Minister, I want you to listen to this. We know that you are listening to us. We know that we know that you're following us. You understand? So please listen to this.
And quote. That's from the chairman of the Integrity Commission, Justice Seymour Panton. You want me to repeat that for you? My question: why has the Integrity Commission not sent a report to Parliament on the PM's declarations not certified after 2 years? Justice Panton, all reports that are to go to Parliament are being sent, and any report that is pending will get there in the fullness of time. May I quote you? Oh, yes. And then I said to him, so this may drag on for some time. Not really, says Justice Panton. No dragging in anything being done by the IC.
All right. Now, people, when I say the reason why they are trembling, they had lost the local government election. A forensic audit is going to be done by Swayne. So hell is going to pop loose at the KSMAC, right? And of course, Mark Golding is going to take over the helm of the government. And so then, you will not have your DPPs as a puppet on a string, right? To dance for you at your command, right? It is going to be a change of government. And we want to tell the Jamaican people to make sure that they vote you out, right? Giving the People's National Party a convincing win. So the policies that you have drafted, those policies can be thrown into the garbage bin. That is what we plan to do here. And that is one of the reasons why we are giving people the true investigation. Now let us go to the next clip and show the tassels in Parliament. Because in Parliament, they all know what is going on, you know. Yes, in Parliament, they all know what is going on. But guess what? Mark Golding, man of integrity, man of honesty, no inna the hanky-panky. Right? No. And so then Mark Golding is going to hold their feet to the fire. And so they are doing everything in their power. Everything in their power to put down Mark Golding. But, you know, social media is here and we have the truth. And as such, it will never, ever happen. Let us pray and get into Parliament and show the bang around that is going on there. Let us get there, people. We have time.
The only person who can come to this Parliament and give an account for appointing all these boards and appointing two of his closest political colleagues to preside over this orgy of looting is the Prime Minister of this country, and he must come here and ask.
Bring shame and disgrace to the human race.
Again.
The only person who can come to this Parliament and give an account for appointing all these boards and appointing two of his closest political colleagues to preside over this orgy of looting is the Prime Minister of this country, and he must come here and ask.
Bring shame and disgrace to the human race.
prepared and step out for you tonight. Right? Peter Bunting. Speak it as it is, Brother Peter. Speak it as it is, Mr. Bunting. Because what Andrew Holness had done as it relates to his wife being the Speaker of the House, his wife sits on the Integrity Commission Oversight Committee amid an investigation into Andrew Holness' statutory declaration, illicit enrichment. And your wife is the Speaker of the House. Your wife sits on the Integrity Commission oversight. So then, any ruling, right? Any ruling, and let me tell you something, Cliff Hughes. You think you're going to push the Integrity Commission or the Justice Minister? I'm talking to Cliff Hughes and the Justice Minister, Delroy Trump. Right? As I said to the Integrity Commission some time ago, just to hold it a little bit, because what they want, they want the report to crush it. Let me tell you something, Christy, which I know you know. They are now wanting to create policy that the Integrity Commission report, particularly where the 6 is concerned, doesn't go to Parliament, Mr. Christie. I know you know that. Yes. And they have their 48 members of Parliament to curb policy. So what they want to do now, Mr. Christie, although I know you know that, is to send the report to the Integrity Commission Oversight Committee. Mr. Christie, I know you know very well that Juliet Holness is a part of the Integrity Commission Oversight Committee. What a slackness. What a piece of corruption. What a piece of corruption. So, Mr. Christie, let me tell you a secret. Let them continue to worry about it. Hold it a little bit longer. General election is around here. Yes. And let me tell you a little bit of secret too, Get Christie. They are acing the court, the appeal court, as it relates to Paula Llewellyn. They want Paula Llewellyn to get back there. Why? Why? What's so special about Paula Llewellyn? It's Paula Llewellyn's brain and understanding of the jurisprudence is so remarkable that no other can do what Paula Llewellyn does. But as we know, the reason, of course, that Paula Llewellyn will execute statute of limitation as what he had done with the president of the NWC, and where NEPA sits in the Prime Minister's office. Andrew Holness, do you feel me? I want you to feel me. Right? Yeah, man, I want you to feel me. Now, let us go to the next clip. Let us go to the next clip, people. We have time for him tonight.
But even more, we shouldn't forget what transpired over the 3 years that the government has been in power. It started before year 1 had been completed with the bushing scandal. Then there was the police used car scandal, the firearm licensing scandal, the $17 million welcome sign, the missing funds at Duns River Fall, the misuse of funds at the Student Bureau. You know, Mr. Speaker, I ask myself all the while, why is only the scandal bag that them ban. Them should ban the whole bag of scandal. But even more, we shouldn't forget what transpired over the 3 years that the government has been in power. It started before year one had been completed with the bushing scandal. Then there was the police used car scandal, the firearm licensing scandal, the $17 million welcome sign, the missing funds at Duns River Fall, the misuse of funds at the Student Bureau. You know, Mr. Speaker, I ask myself all the while, why is only the scandal bag that them ban? Them should ban the whole bag of scandal.
Mr. Prime Minister, as I said, you have my attention. Now, let us, as it relates to all of the corruption under the Andrew Holness-led government, and let me say this to you, Andrew Holness, you know that the crimes that you have alleged to commit appears to be premeditated, well planned, and you have executed. So it's for us now, right, to analyze and bring forth the evidence to our people. Now, we have seen that you're making move to have the DPP, right, go back into the office. So let us bring up this next document as it relates to what Andrew Holness is moving towards. Because to him, if he doesn't get that, then of course, he digs deeper in the abyss. And of course, let us get into this document.
Okay. All right, so it's the Court of Appeal to begin examining decision on DPP's tenure today, dated June 24th, 2024. A Court of Appeal hearing to clarify issues that had arisen following the Constitutional Court's decision in April that resulted in King's Counsel Paula Llewellyn stepping aside as Director of Public Prosecutions will go underway today. The hearing, which is scheduled for 5 days, will be presided over by a 3-judge panel led by Justice Jennifer Straw and including Justices Vivian Harris and Kisok Leng. The full court in April ruled that the change in constitution in just last year to raise the age of retirement for the DPP and the Auditor General from 60 to 65 was valid. However, the court struck down an amendment that it said gave Llewellyn the power to elect to remain on the job. It declared the provision unconstitutional. Following the ruling, attorneys represented People's National Party lawmakers who had initiated the challenge said the ruling meant that Llewellyn would have to leave office immediately. However, other parties, including the Attorney General's chambers and Minister of Justice Delroy Chuck, were of the view that no such order had been made. The Attorney General consequently advised that after careful consideration and in the interest of the public, he would be appealing the ruling to have the issues resolved and determined by the Court of Appeal. Interest of the public, really. Shortly after, the Attorney General's chambers issued a brief statement advising that Llewellyn was stepping away from her duties. It said that due to ambiguity and uncertainty from the court's ruling, the DPP had advised that she was unable to carry out the functions of her office at this time. But the release also sparked calls for further clarity on whether the DPP had resigned. However, her lawyer Douglas Lees Casey advised that she had not resigned, and further that it would not be advisable for her to resign her position until the Court of Appeal has finally determined the issues. Senior Deputy DPP Claudette Thompson was then appointed to act in the post of DPP. No acting now, going to tell this so. A panel of judges comprising Justices Sonia Wint-Blair, Simone Wolf-Rees, and Justice Tricia Hutchinson Shelley ruled that the incumbent DPP had already reached the extended retirement age, which means that the application of Section 2, subsection 2, cannot lead to another extension by way of an election on the part of the incumbent DPP, as this is unlawful. The DPP reached the age of retirement in 2020, but got a 3-year extension, which ended in September 2023. The judges further ruled that the only lawful way to extend Llewellyn's current tenure is by agreement between the Prime Minister of Jamaica and the leader of the opposition. Opposition lawmakers Philip Paulwell and Peter Bunting had initiated the challenge to the amendment of the Constitution, while the Attorney General was the respondent in the matter. Michael Hilton, KC, represented the lawmen.
Yeah, take it away. All right. So, people, where we go from there? Let me explain this. The level of corruption is just overwhelming as it relates to Andrew Holness. But I'm going to shift a little bit from Andrew Holness and goes to Nigel Clarke. Now, Zara Burton had recently finished an investigation as it relates to Nigel Clarke. And what we need to understand now, people, is that majority of the persons in Andrew Holness-led government are corrupt, are corrupted. And so then when they come out and they speak, right, don't believe them, right, because they corrupted the core. We have understand the situation with SSL, and now Nigel Clarke had dealt with that. So Nigel Clarke is no Sunday school boy. Obviously, he knows how to roll deep in terms of covering up the wrongdoing. And just like how Andrew Holness is a hypocrite, Nigel is a hypocrite. Now, let us take a deep dive into Zara Burton's latest investigation as it relates to Nigel Clarke. Lift up 18 degrees. As I said, we have time for them tonight. $18 degrees now.
I know, but it's not gonna come up like that. I have to look for.
All right, people, wifey is searching for that, to bring up that investigation, because I want to show the people.
This everything always come up a bit weird.
All right. Share.
Yep, let me just
Let us get into 18 degrees north here. Okay, so people, here it is. Jamaica's Finance Minister, Dr. Nigel Clarke, push for stronger non-profit oversight, while several organizations he founded were non-compliant. So from your city heading, you see how hypocritical this man is, right? In the same breath, Nigel Clarke is pushing for stronger non-profit oversight, while several of his organizations he founded were non-compliant. This is how hypocritical they are. For the past several years, Jamaica Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clarke has been the ministerial point person on addressing deficiencies in the nation's anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financing regime. It's all in an attempt to comply with 40 recommendations that were imposed by the Global Standard Center for Money Laundering and Terrorist Financing Rules, Financial Action Task Force, which placed Jamaica on its international grey list in February 2020. I want people to hear that. Right? Financial Action Task Force, which placed Jamaica on its international grey list in February 2020 under the government of Andrew Holness. One of the deficiencies he's been addressing is supervising of the non-profit sector. Here it is, delinquent non-profit Nigel Clarke. Let us show him in red. He's delinquent. Delinquent. There it is, paper. Non-profit Nigel Clarke, constituency Northwest St. Andrew. Yes, we are call out the things them. Now you come tell me, say I like this. The regional arm of FATF called the Caribbean Financial Action Task Force, which monitors the progress of regional countries, found that although Jamaica had a legal framework for registering and obtaining information from non-profits, the system was not risk-based. It cannot be risk-based when Nigel Clarke is there, which means that it didn't implement enhanced measures for charities that are vulnerable to financial crimes like terrorist financing. Right? Nigel Clarke did not call out SSL and did not stop SSL from function. So what do you expect? What do you expect? This is Nigel Clarke. But while pushing for stronger oversight of charitable organizations, several non-profits founded by Dr. Clarke were delinquent on their filings at the nation's regulatory bodies for multiple years. So Nigel Clarke, while you are telling people to be compliant, you are non-compliant, which would undermine the ability of regulators to supervise the sector. That's why when SSL need to be closed down, you didn't step in and have them closed down because you're a natural corrupter. One of them has been outstanding on its filings for as many as 13 years. Look at that, Nigel Clarke. 13 years. The delinquent non-profit founded by Dr. Clarke. The non-profits Dr. Clarke founded are Growth and Opportunity Trust Limited. Set up in 2018. The year he became a member of Parliament to help the citizens of his Northwestern St. Andrew constituency and National Youth Orchestra of Jamaica Limited, established in 2009 to promote music and performing arts, particularly among inner-city Jamaicans. This is what you people go on and do, Nigel Clarke, set up all these companies and all sort of illegal activities sourced through these companies. So me I read it, and I want the people them to understand what we are reading. How these companies, non-profit organization, you have terrorists that can give them all sort of money, illegal money, rinse, laundering through these companies that they set up. So I'm telling you what is happening here, people. There's also the UWI Regional Endowment Fund Limited, where he was founding director from its inception in 2008, and whose purpose is to provide an independent source of funding for university programs outside of government grants and student tuition. All three organizations took the first step of registering as a non-profit at the Companies Office of Jamaica, but only Growth and Opportunity and NYOJ took the second step and also enrolled at the Charities Authority called the Department of Cooperative and Friendly Society. Just imagine, this man is, right, the finance minister of the country and breaking the laws. Nigel Clarke, shame on you. Shame on you, Nigel Clarke. So if you are doing this, Nigel Clarke, what sort of message are you sending, sir? Which made them charities in true sense and gave them tax-exempt status. Oh boy. It's merely a company with a charitable purpose, with each registration at each government entity, annual returns and financial statement have to be filed each year, plus a tax return must be submitted to the Tax Administration of Jamaica. But when 18 Degrees now checked at the company's office in summer 2022, the Growth and Opportunity had never made a filing there since its inception in 2018. Nigel Clarke, is this lie? Andrew Holness, let me talk to you. This information that we have here reading out, is this information lie, sir? Here it is. Investigation done. And this is the findings. Are we telling lie here? Let us proceed. Annual returns for NYOJ were outstanding for 9 years from 2013 to 2021. Mr. Nigel Clarke, Andrew Holness, is this information lie? You run up on social media. Who you want to shut up? You want to shut me up from speaking the truth? And no financials were on file. You hear that, Nigel Clarke? You hear that, Andrew Holness? UWIREF had not filed an annual return there since 2020. Its last recorded financial statement was 2018, and here is the evidence, sir. Right? There is the evidence. So let us move on. At the DCFS, checks made in January 2023 revealed that Growth and Opportunity had only that month filed its 2021 returns, which would have been after 18 Degrees North had made contact with Dr. Clarke about the delinquencies. So then, Mr. Nigel Clarke, then if you are doing all of this, this is the reason why we are not getting any transparency in SSL, sir. You are a corrupter. The last set of returns on file for NYOJ were for 2016. DCFS said NYOJ's registration had lapsed, even at the Tax Office of Jamaica, over which Dr. Clarke presides as minister. Checks beginning late in 2022 show that no filings had ever been made for Growth and Opportunity. We weren't able to get information on UWIREF and NYOJ from that department, which belatedly cited privacy. Take that away, honey. Let me talk to the people of Jamaica. Yes. When we talk about deep dives in these issues, and we come with the evidence, and so then when you, Andrew Holness, right, came out on social media, you can't suppress us. You can't. What we bring forward to the people, documentary evidence. Evidence that you cannot rebut. Evidence, 100% pure facts. Now, let me just take a little intermission here. As we are getting there, people, as I said, we have time to him tonight. And let us pray our potential leader, Mark Golding, at Manig. Right? Because we have to follow up our comrade leader and have an understanding what he's doing. So I want to also share what he's doing as well. Without any delay on it, bring up the comrade leader, Mark Golding, visiting Manig. We are here for him tonight.
Yeah, man. Comrade Chairman of the meeting. Comrade Calamity. No respect. All of the comrades, boy, I'm not going to go through every one of them. Comrade Michael True. Comrade Kerry Thomas. Comrade Dr. Andre Harton. Yes. Comrade Heather Miller. Comrade Cummins. Comrade Councillor. Yes. For the Summerton Division. Michael Banga Allen. And of course, MP in waiting, who will make history again. Listen, read not. Yeah, man. I want to also big up Comrade Sylvan Reed, who's here. And I don't know if Comrade Peter Plummer is here, but I have big up all of the comrades who carry the burden. And you know, one team we say, one united PNP team. Yeah, man. Comrades came from Kingston, left my house at 5:30, reach here around 8:30. And I tell you, the road them, I see what you're talking about. But you know, I was here when January, February, when we did the tour. Yeah, December. Yeah. November. It's so long? Wow. November. And I said then to Ed Bartlett, boy, you're supposed to shame. Because you're the MP in this constituency for 22 years. And you've been in government for much of that period. And it's the worst roads in Jamaica. It is a disgrace. And you have big Minister of Tourism. But you know, we've heard some of the history tonight. And I want to thank Comrade Reednut for her journey into the history of this constituency. And of course, Comrade Violet Nielsen, of blessed memory. I must tell you, one of the memorable parts of that tour back in November was stopping by her house and meeting her there. And she was such an elegant lady and such a lovely lady. And I felt honored to be in her presence, the first female speaker of the House of Representatives of Jamaica, Violet Nielsen, MP for 3 terms, East Central. That Comrade Rochelle Reednut has it in her to repeat that victory and bring this constituency back into the column of the People's National Party. And let me tell you, comrades, what happened on the 26th of February was a master stroke, because you bring home Comrade Banga as your council and you shake up the thing. But it is in your interest now to work extra hard to deliver the big victory whenever the time comes, so that you have an MP and the councillor, because that is when everything lines up the right way for real progress to happen. And I know Banga would have loved to see that happen. And I know Comrade Rochelle would have loved to see that too, because the two of them will work together. So all of you here tonight, we have work to do. You know what it took to deliver the victory for Banga. Well, we have to do that and more to bring home Rochelle. But don't be daunted by that task. Don't have any fear or doubt. Just be resolute and confident that if the work is done and we pull together in one common cause, we will achieve that wonderful victory. We have it in us to do so.
We have to turn it around, so that instead of having a situation where over 30% of primary school children are leaving primary school unable to read and write, unable to do critical thinking, unable to do simple arithmetic, we are in a situation where Jamaica has the best system of early childhood and primary school education in the hemisphere. That is the vision and mission of the next PNP government.
So, comrades, we have work to do. And I want to say to you tonight, I hope you feel inspired. I hope you feel confident. I hope you feel charged with a sense of commitment to this cause. And the cause and the mission is to deliver East Central, St. James, in the column of the People's National Party, with Russell Reed Knapp as a member of Parliament, the successor in the tradition of the great violent ELC. Comrades, I know we can do it. And I'm relying on you to pull together as one team. We don't want any little isms and schisms amongst our people. Our people must come together, park all of the foolishness, whatever it may have been before. Put it park it or rest it down until we have the victory. And then if we're really serious, I want to take it up. We'll send a mediator and solve the issue at that time. But comrades, we have work to do, and the work must continue as one team, pushing forward with energy, conviction, and vision, confidence, and an assurance that God Almighty will give us the victory. Are you ready, comrades?
All right. So, let me also warn, unity is strength. There is no time for any division and any foolishness, right? So we have to maintain unity because unity is strength. We want corruption to go. Yeah. Now, let me remind Mr. Andrew Holness that his office, the office of the Prime Minister, cannot explain the Prime Minister's statutory declaration. Unbelievable. Now let us get into the next document that we are going to display. All right. That document is coming up. As we said, he has my attention tonight. OPM mom on status of Holness statutory declaration. This is a radio silence from Jamaica House about whether Prime Minister Andrew Holness 2022 statutory declaration has been certified amid indications from opposition leader Mark Golding that he has certification from the Integrity Commission. And not only the 2022, Mark Golding 2023 has now been certified by the Integrity Commission. The Gleaner question emailed to the office of the Prime Minister and copied to Holness on Tuesday morning were not answered up to press time last night. Them can't answer. What they go answer say? In statutory declaration just cannot be certified. You don't have no answer for that. The office of the Prime Minister was asked to confirm whether the Prime Minister's statutory declaration for 2022 and 2021 were certified and whether he had received notifications from the IC about the status of the declaration. The Gleaner also sought responses from the IC to confirm whether it had certified both Holness and Golding's filing. But the body said that it is unable to make comment regarding same. What a shame. What a shame when you have the office of the Prime Minister, right? Unable to make comment on the Prime Minister's statutory declaration while the opposition, right, statutory declaration being certified and gazetted to say that it is and has been operating in compliance with the provisions of Section 42, subsection 3 of the Integrity Commission Act. Let me debunk this. Let me debunk this. You're unable to make comment regarding same. That is what you're saying. Let me break it up for the people then. Except to say that it is and has been operating in compliance with the provisions of Section 42, subsection 3. No, Andrew Holness, you are not in compliance. Let me explain this to the people. You submitted your statutory declaration doesn't mean that you are in compliance. Let me explain this to the people because you think that we are stupid around here. When you submitted your statutory declaration and the prescribed time that you're supposed to that you're supposed to send it in, it doesn't mean that you are compliant. Let me go down and break it down for you, Prime Minister. The reason why the Integrity Commission cannot certify your statutory declaration for 2021 and 2022 because, of course, you lied on your statutory declaration. Let us bring this to the fore and let people understand, right, what you're trying to put up here, right? Your little deflection and so forth. So let me set it straight for you. So when you quote Section 42, subsection 3 of the Integrity Commission Act, because you submitted it on time, that is one part. That is one part of the requirement, the submission. Oh yeah, we give you that. But come, let us deal with the other part. You have to submit your statutory declaration and you have to be truthful, sir. Truthful on your statutory declaration. You take social media bloggers for idiot. You have to be truthful on your statutory declaration. Now, the Integrity Commission Act stated that if you bear false information on your statutory declaration, you are to be charged, sir. And in some essence, depending on the gravity of the situation, you can be imprisoned. Now, let me show the people the dirtiness that is taking place. The DPP know about this. The DPP know that the Integrity Commission has not certified your statutory declaration that you have submitted. So, Mr. Andrew Holness, it's not about submission. It's about the truthfulness of what you have submitted. Your statutory declaration must bear truth as it relates to your salary. And so then, as it relates to your income, your assets must match your income. But then your statutory declaration cannot be certified because your assets doesn't match your income. So let me explain that to the people. And so then the Integrity Commission is saying to you, sir, that they cannot certify based on the basis that you are not truthful on your statutory declaration. Let us move on. Section 42, subsection 3 says, where upon examination of a statutory declaration, the Director of Information and Complaints is satisfied that the statutory declaration has been duly completed, he shall so inform the Commission, and the Commission shall A, cause to be issued to the public official of Parliamentary, as the case may be, confirmation thereof in writing. B, subsection, notwithstanding the provisions of Section 56, cause to be published a summary of your statutory declaration made by the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition in the Gazette. So let us get back up here. So where upon examination of a statutory declaration, the Director of Information and Complaint is satisfied. So what the Director of Complaint is saying, sir, here, if you don't understand English language, is that they are not satisfied with what you have submitted, sir. This is what all of this means. That what you have submitted is not adding up, the math's not nonsense. What you have submitted, they also use the Portland Mayor maths, and it is not adding up. Take that document away. Let me talk to the people. We don't play when we come around here. So tell me, Holness, what I've just read. Am I lying? Huh? And so then you want to gag us too? Like how you gag the Integrity Commission? No. No, we are at liberty, sir, to speak. Remember, providing that we are not defaming your character, we are speaking truth to bear. You have my attention, Prime Minister. Now, let me teach the people a little thing before we present the next documentation, because we have time. It is not like capitalism. Let me talk about capitalism. United States of America, Canada. The market is capital, right? So I want people to get what I'm saying right now. And so then when you see a country is in bind, like oh, Jamaica is in bind, and these countries have secret for you, they can push you around. And you have to be a yes man and a puppet for them. And so then, if they want for you to jump, all they need to do is to offer you, and you need to say, oh, I need to jump. I have to explain this in terms of the next documentation that I am going to present. So when you, right, being licky and a political prostitute caught up between the eagle and the dragon. But let me tell you something. You're pressing too hard between two giants. And there's going to be a time come when your number is going to call. Now, look. Let us pull this next document. And this is one of the reasons why Bruce Golding was to resign. Because the capitalists approached Bruce Golding, yes, and wanted for Bruce Golding to accept their way of behavior or their culture, to intertwine that culture in Jamaica. I'm going to play the clip so that people can get what Mystic is saying. So let me bring you up to understanding and to show you that when your hands tied and bind, then you have to give. Now let me show you how significant Michael Manley was. That when the capitalists, neo-colonialists, asked Michael Manley to bow, and Michael Manley said, listen, I need money for my backside. I need money for my backside. And so then Michael Manley increased the backside levy. They didn't like it. And through the increase of the backside levy, we bear a lot of things that we have enjoyed. Free education, free lunch going to school, free uniform, because Michael Manley never bowed. And I also, even although to the fact that Michael Manley never bowed, they crippled democratic socialism. And because Bruce Golding never bowed, pressure hit him. And because Andrew Holness is a sellout he has to bow. And when they asked him to jump, he said to them, how high you want me to jump? I am in the business to sell out my black people. Wait, hold on. Let us remind the people of this. To show what I am saying, I bear truth, I bear facts as it relates to neo-colonialists who want Bruce Golding to bow and capitalists who want him to bow.
Question of image. And Jamaica's image, arguably, right now, is not altogether positive. And one other aspect of that I'll put to you.
We have one major problem. One major problem so far as that image is concerned, our crime rate. We have to bring that down.
Let me put another to you. We've talked extensively about that. Let me put another to you, and that is Jamaica's attitude to homosexuality.
Yeah.
That is a problem. If you listen to Human Rights Watch's Rebecca Schleifer, she says homophobia in Jamaica is the worst she has ever seen. The New York Times just ran a big story. Just a couple of months ago, there was a case in Mandeville, a crowd storming a house, 4 men having dinner were attacked and brutally assaulted because they were believed to be gay. And that was not unusual.
Yes.
What are you doing about it?
Well, we have given instructions that crimes against persons because of their sexual orientation must be pursued with the same vigor that any other crime.
But they're not, are they?
Generally speaking, they are. They are now. We do have a long-standing culture that is very opposed to homosexuality. I believe that that is changing. I believe that there's greater acceptance now that people have different lifestyles, that they must be their privacy must be respected.
Are you,
Prime Minister,
take time. Are you more accepting now? Because in 2006 you were quoted in the Sunday Herald newspaper as saying, quote, homosexuals will find no solace in any cabinet formed by me.
Well, in appointing a cabinet, a prime minister exercises judgment. He exercises, that is his exclusive responsibility. There's no right to be in a cabinet.
No, but you've just told me that you believe that Jamaica is on track to give real equality before the law to homosexuals. But you yourself have said that homosexual will find no solace in any cabinet formed by me.
That has nothing to do with equality before the law. People,
do you not have a duty to consider people on their merits for cabinet positions, indeed in any part of government?
No, I consider people in terms of their ability and the extent to which they are going to be able to exercise their functions with independence.
You also clearly and patently consider them in terms of their sexuality.
No, but that's a decision that I make. That's a decision that every prime minister makes. A prime minister must decide what he feels would represent to the Jamaican people a cabinet of ministers who will be able to discharge their functions without fear, without favor, without intimidation. That's a choice that I have. I make that choice.
What kind of signal does that send about Jamaica to the outside world, indeed to potential investors, to countries that look at Jamaica and
One
wonder?
signal that it sends is that Jamaica is not going to allow values to be imposed on it from outside. We're going to have to determine that ourselves. And we're going to have to determine to what extent those values will adapt over time to changing perceptions and to changing understanding as to how people live. But it can't be on the basis that lobby groups far and away from Jamaica are going to start to define for Jamaica how it must establish its own standards and its own morals.
Do you want to live in a Jamaica in the future where homosexuals can be a part of your cabinet or any cabinet?
I want to live in a Jamaica where persons are free to conduct their private relations. But I'm not talking about leading Jamaica in a direction where its own values are going to be assaulted by others.
With respect,
In the same-
that was not an answer to my question. Let me put it to you one more time.
Yes.
Do you, in the future, want to live in a Jamaica where a gay man or a gay woman can be in the cabinet?
Sure, they can be in the cabinet, not mine.
Well, they can't be in yours.
Not mine.
No, but do you want to live in a Jamaica where they can be and they should be, and it would be entirely natural for them to be so?
I do not know that that is necessarily the direction in which I want my country to go.
We've talked a little bit about poverty. Before we finish, do you believe, and you've said you can deliver on some of these security issues, other issues?
All right. Take that away. As he said, not in my cabinet. Now, I am playing this is to say that if Jamaica was the type of country that booming on manufacturing, so let me tell people why I play this. Booming on manufacturing, right? And their economy, and Jamaica economy is vibrant. Outside force, right, cannot come in and subdue you like this. And to the fact that you are going to take certain grants and donations, those are certain specifications that come with them. Now, when you look at a country like Singapore, right, and you look at other countries, right, where the United States wouldn't have inserted such influence over because those economies are doing well. So I am just playing this to say that this is the reason why we have to eat out on corruption, because corruption robbed from us. Corruption, right, being hitting us under the Andrew Holness-led government, it affects education, and when it affects education, critical thinking skills will be losing that. And so then, if we are able to have that critical thinking skills, to vote for good governance, so then a politician cannot just come and just tell us anything at our ears. And then, after they win, them throw poison on us. There's a difference between being a politician and being a political representative. So then, if you're into the politics to represent, that's what you ought to do. But Andrew Holness is a politician, and Mark Golding venture into the politics to represent people. And that's the difference. And so then, I can assure Jamaican people that when Mark Golding become the Prime Minister of Jamaica, the history of corruption and mayhem that you see carrying on in Andrew Holness-led government, you will not have that in a Mark Golding governance. And so then when the country is weak and can't pull, then external forces take advantage of you. And so then when external forces giving you their contributions, their donations, their this and their that, they're giving it to you so that your culture and what you believe in, the principles of what you believe in, can now be reduced. Look on this next clip. Let us play. And when we say that Andrew Holness asked them, how high can I jump? I want you to understand where I'm coming from. My reason for displaying that is not going against or eating out against homosexual or eating out against gay and lesbian, right? I have no form of argument as it relates to that. I am just saying that when a country, right, doesn't have a strong economy and has to take contribution, donations, and all of that from other countries, right, there are going to be certain austerity measures that imposed on that country. And when that country is weak, in order to get aid and benefit, they have to sign on to some of these agreements. And this is what happened to Andrew Holness. Let us play the next clip.
Abiding citizen, me attack as a Jamaican, and 150% believes that Andrew Holness are the worst prime minister Jamaica has ever seen. This man is on a mission to destroy cultural beliefs over money. Want to listen to this?
Canadian-funded project promoting LGBTQI agenda targeting Jamaican teens. A Canadian-funded project currently underway to teach children about so-called sexual and reproductive health rights has sparked the concern of Christians locally. Advocacy officer at the Jamaica Coalition for a Healthy Society, Philippa Davies, is amongst those who have accused the Jamaican government of exposing the nation's children to perverse ideas in exchange for money from the secular North American country. The Jamaican government had received $1.1 billion in November 2022 to finance 2 projects, one of which is to advance sexual and reproductive health and human rights in Jamaica. A little over half of the funding was allocated to implement the Strengthening Access, Inclusion, and Leadership for Sexual and Reproductive Health and Rights in Jamaica, SAIL SRHR project, over a 5-year period from 2022 to 2027. The project is targeted primarily at adolescents.
What do we understand the term sexual and reproductive health and rights to mean? It means abortion. It means advocating and teaching LGBT ideology in schools. It means confusing children as to what their real human identity is. It means saying to children that sexual feelings ranks higher than what biology and anatomy says.
That was Advocacy Officer at the Jamaica Coalition for a Healthy Society, Philippa Davies. The High Commission of Canada in Jamaica has made it clear that its team is committed to advancing the rights of the LGBT.
Okay. So let me make it categorically clear that Mystic Sensation playing that, right, is not saying that I am hitting out on persons who are eccentric. That is not what I'm doing. I am just featuring it to say that my reason is that whenever you have a country, right, that doesn't strong on its economy, right, and weak, and have to take loans from IMF, World Bank, and the list goes on, and any other external entities. It comes with austerity measures, Jamaican people, right? And so then when it comes with austerity measures in some instances, certain social programs that the country would normally offer as a result of taking the loans, they have to cut some of these programs. All right? And so then you need to understand the politics. And that's why it is important for people to understand the politics. That each time that we process a loan, either from IMF or from World Bank, it comes with some austerity measures. So might be some of the measures is that you cannot fix certain bridge. That is one of the reasons why we are not seeing the tri-bridge being fixed. Right? Certain bridges cannot be fixed. Certain roads cannot be fixed, and so forth and so forth and so forth. So people need to understand the politics. All right. Yes, caller, you're on the line. Can you turn off the device that you have there?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay,
Yes, I'm so sorry about that.
that's okay.
You know, first time calling in, I want to talk to Andrew tonight. I want to ask him, how dare him? Today I was watching the TV and I saw him around all these school children. How dare him mingle with these people's children with what he's doing? How dare you, Andrew? Leave these children alone. You should not be mingling with people's children. That's all I want to say.
Thank you, sister. What you have said, it just cut my heart. Right. So thank you for your contribution.
How dare him? How dare him? It angers me.
So true.
Who does he think he is? My God. I'm so sorry. I'm getting back to class.
Thank you, sister. Really love that contribution. And I mean, there you go, a concerned mother, right? A concerned mother, right? And many more concerned mother, right? As it relates to what Andrew Holness did, right? Now, and you see, he's doing these things. He's not educating the Jamaican people, right? And then the funniest thing, why it is so dangerous, that the money being collected, many of that money is going to be unaccounted for. And then, on top of that, that you have to live with these situations as a result of the corruption, lift inflation, and the poor people who never are part of the discussion to sign off on what Andrew Holness signed off, have to now live with the situation, one, and as a result of the corruption, have to deal with the inflation, two, and the ripple effect of that. And so then when we don't have an educated nation, the nation spirals into abyss. This is what Andrew Holness-led government is doing. So when you run out on social media and say what you want to say, yes, Mystic Sensation is going to push it out. Now let us go to, and let me say this. You have some people, right, who try to come up with them propaganda and them lie because they have grievance in their hearts. Who am I talking to? Yes, I am talking to Karen Cross. That you never stop until you get disciplined. And so then, when you have no evidence and you speak loosely, then of course you have to pay the consequence, right, of your wrongdoing. Now, let us play this next clip. So when you carry this rumor as what, and you want to bring down Mark Golding, because Mark Golding kicked you out of the party, right? And then you have up Mark Golding, you have up Nathan Campbell, and you tell lies, right? Because you want to bring down the entire People's National Party, because if you cannot be a part of them, then might as well burn them down. Without Karen Cross, there's no People's National Party. Let me tell you something, Karen Cross. Right? You need to put up yourself and relax yourself. because you can bring down the People's National Party. Now, let us play. Yes.
PNP Chairman Dr. Angela Brownburk has denied claims that she's being investigated by the Federal Bureau of Investigation's FBI. Expelled PNP activist Karen Cross made the sensational claim in a post on Facebook over the weekend. Ms. Cross was giving her followers insight into who she claims are the sources behind an elaborate extortion attempt against the Member of Parliament for East Kingston and Port Royal, Philip Paulwell. In the post, Ms. Cross claimed that the FBI informed Mr. Paulwell that the bank account provided by the cyber criminals who've stolen his personal information belongs to Dr. Brownburk and her husband, Paul. Nationwide News put the claims to Dr. Brownburk at the PNP conference on Sunday.
I've since written to the Commissioner of Police about these malicious, reckless and baseless rumors. I am calling on them to do any investigation, every investigation that is required. I stand ready, although I have absolutely no idea how I could help. But in any questions that they put to me, I will be able to answer, because I believe it is time for people to stop being this malicious. I don't know what the goal is in mind, but I just want to say that there's absolutely not even a shred of truth in those that I've seen and heard.
Dr. Angela Brownburk, PNP Chairman.
And the
All right. Now, Angela, remember, you must know if you want to swear. I'm not telling you to swear, but you must know if you want to swear. Because Dayton Campbell are ramping. Yeah. So I could show you an example of Dayton Campbell, right? Because when people go to the extent, right, in telling lies and creating mayhem, you have to discipline them. All right? Yeah. We have seen Bug Life being disciplined, you know. Yeah, when him come out and run out and him tell lie. Yeah. Get disciplined, slap. You understand? Yeah, these people need to be disciplined. No.
The case was brought by Dr. Campbell in March of 2021 against Karen Cross, Natalie Stack, and Michelle Stern. Dr. Campbell claims the defendants published defamatory words in relation to him using electronic mail and the social media platforms YouTube and Facebook. Ms. Cross, in her defense filed in May of the same year, said she would rely on truth and fair comment. As part of her claim, she submitted to the court statements allegedly written and signed by 3 females alleging sexual misconduct. But Dr. Campbell, in his application, asked that the defenses of each of the 3 be struck out, that judgment be entered against them, and that damages be assessed. He also sought a permanent mandatory injunction directing the removal of the social media posts which alleged sexual misconduct by him. He similarly called for a prohibitory injunction prohibiting further publication of the same or similar allegations of sexual misconduct. Puny Judge Althea Jarrett ruled against all 3 defendants. In the case of Karen Cross, Justice Jarrett said there is no question in her mind that on the face of it, these allegations made by the first defendant were defamatory of the claimant. She says the 3 statements that her defense hangs on to support these allegations all have the makers' names redacted, and so their identities are unknown. The judge says statements from the JCF indicate that the police found no basis for the allegations made, and Karen Cross provided no evidence to substantiate her claims to the police. Justice Jarrett noted that it was odd that after not being able to provide the police with anyone willing to make a complaint against the claimant, Karen Cross argued that she would provide the makers of the statements at trial. However, the judge says one would have thought that if the true intention is to seek justice for the young girls, the thing to do would be to bring the evidence to the police and allow them to conduct a successful investigation leading to charges. Karen Cross's defense was therefore struck out. The second defendant, Natalie Stack, was also found not to have any reasonable grounds to defend her claim. The third defendant, Michelle Stern, sought to distance herself from the allegations, citing that she simply republished Karen Cross's statements. However, the judge not only found that there is no basis to remove her from the claim, but that her defense does not disclose any reasonable grounds to defend said claim. The judgment was granted in favor of Dr. Campbell. The three defendants are also restrained from uploading, publishing, or communicating by social media or any other media any further words of the same or similar content as the video and post the subject of the claim. The matter is to proceed to a case management conference before an assessment judge. However, the defendants have been given leave to appeal the judgment. Siobhan Campbell for Nationwide News.
All right. Yes, people. Let's go warm up the place now. All right, we are getting at the heat of the things now. So we're ready now to kick in at the second gear, people. So now we're going to get into the history of Andrew Holness live. And when we are talking about Andrew Holness as a diabolical liar, yes, Andrew, I hope you watch my IP address. Yes, coming at you. So when we say that you're a diabolical liar, now Andrew Holness, let me chomp out this first clip, right? Because we are in now the second gear. Okay. So we want to listen to Andrew Holness, right, prior in taking over power. So this is 2015 and his campaign that Andrew Holness, you understand, eating out for teachers, if you don't remember that. Andrew Holness and his political campaign, defending teachers and defending nurses. Yes, Andrew Holness, we have the series of it for you. Now, let us get back to 2015, Mr. Andrew Holness. Go ahead. Show them how good you are.
In growing the country, you cannot keep the largest part of your labor force, which is the public sector workers, under austerity. What it does, it demotivates them. It makes them wonder, what am I working for and why should I put out effort? And when their income declines, and if any of you here are teachers and you realize that you can't take taxi to work anymore because your income simply can't afford it, now you have to jump on the bus, you reach school late, your uniform or your clothes pull up, and you just don't feel like you should put out that effort. What happened there? Your productivity as a teacher goes down. Results start to fall. And the country start to move back way. It's the same thing for a nurse who, when she get her pay and go to the supermarket, she realize that she can't buy the family size toothpaste anymore. She have to buy the smaller economy.
What? People? Andrew said that? No, people. Andrew that? 2015? Andrew that defending teachers and defending nurses. Andrew that 2015, step out, right? And defending that teachers are to be paid properly and nurses are to be paid properly is Andrew that, Hold on, the people. Make we just draw the break. Brought forward as it relates to Andrew Holness government. Watch on our people. Watch here now, people.
Fruitful. That's the word coming out of this morning's meeting at the Labour Ministry between representatives of the Ministry of Education and the Jamaica Teachers Association, JTA. The teachers had planned days of protest starting yesterday, which has disrupted the education sector. Ministry of Education asked the Labour Ministry to convene a meeting following yesterday's strike action in several parishes. Now, TVJ News understands that the stakeholders were able to cross several hurdles and an agreement on several issues has been agreed upon. However, up to news time, it was still not clear if the teachers will be going on next week as planned. And that's the protest action. Meanwhile, despite the Labour Ministry's intervention, some of the island's teachers are not backing down in their protest to the controversial salary increases to the political directorate. For a second straight day, scores of teachers stayed off the job despite efforts by the Ministry of Labour to call an emergency conciliatory meeting. More in this report.
Are you having trouble trying to keep up with your professor? You've got to try Otter. Here's how it works.
Why, Nigel, why? Why, Nigel, why?
The cry of teachers within the corporate area who showed up at the doorsteps of the Ministry of Finance on Friday. The teachers are upset as they say the Finance Ministry officials have ignored their concerns over the anomalies and discrepancies in their pay under the compensation review. Cheryl Barnaby West is Kingston's parish president for the Jamaica Teachers Association.
Honorable Minister, we're asking you, please, just to fix it. We noticed that the personas that our union representatives would have gotten from you to explain to us all these consultations we have had, they would have brought explanation to us. These personas, we're not seeing the same thing reflecting on our pay advice. So we are asking you to just deal with it.
She says a study was given as a guide to explain the calculation process.
We noticed you did not use that study that was supposed to be used to restructure us. You have done your own thing, we realize. We're asking that whatever it is that you have given to us, you fix that.
In the meantime, in Portmore St. Catherine, several schools kicked off their planned two-day strike action following a call action by President of the Jamaica Teachers Association, LaSonia Harrison. We were greeted with padlocked gates of at least 4 schools. Our news center tried unsuccessfully to get a comment from the administrators. As at news time, the JTA president was locked in a meeting with the Ministry of Labour as they tried to prevent a worsening of the situation.
Fix it, Nigel, fix it! Fix it, Nigel, fix it!
Carrie Simpson for TVJ News.
All right. So people, let me tell you no secret, because many people don't know that Andrew Holness carry what we call multi-personality. Andrew Holness then and Andrew Holness now. Let us go back again. So Andrew Holness will be after me tonight. Let us go back again in the Andrew Holness then again. Now, let us do this. Let us, just remind him, yes, that we have the evidence here to remind him.
One of the things that I know affecting whole heap of people in Jamaica is the high electricity bill. When the PNP come into power, them say them go and bring down electricity costs. What has happened since? Electricity costs keep rising. They promise that by 2016, they would have made the JPS more efficient with more efficient plants. That's not going to happen till another 2 years. And before you know it, it will be another 3 or 4 years before them actually do it. The Labour Party will make sure that we put in place more efficient electricity generating plants to bring down the cost of electricity to you. I don't like to make promise. I make commitment. And under the Labour Party government, we are going to ensure that we bring to this country the big power plants. We are going to ensure that we bring to this country the big energy companies that can put the money in here to build the plants to give you cheaper and better electricity.
Now, people, remember the Andrew Holness that we are dealing with. Andrew Holness don't make promise. He make commitment. All right? So guess what? Let us show you how committed Andrew Holness is on the next clip. Yes, Andrew, you have my attention. Now, let us show you how committed he is.
The private sector is urging an acceleration in the rollout of solutions to make local energy cheaper. The PSOJ's President Forum Wednesday morning focused on energy and power. Jamaican businesses continue to lament the high cost of electricity.
Jamaica's energy prices have been a cause of concern for the country, as we rank 142 out of 146 countries with the highest electricity charges globally in 2021. This means that Jamaica's energy prices are more than double the global average, putting the country at a serious disadvantage as a nation, and we strive to excel, but unfortunately, our energy prices are helping to hold us back.
A reality that the president of the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica, PSOJ, Metri Siaga, says is also hindering further economic growth.
Jamaica has the highest energy poverty status among 82 low to middle income countries, per the energy poverty assessment published last year.
He, however, lauded the policy goal of having 30% of local energy generation coming from renewable sources by 2030. Just appointed in May this year, the new CEO of the Jamaica Public Service, Steve Berberich, says he is aware of the energy concerns in Jamaica. In addition to the cost, reliability is another issue.
We intend to dramatically increase the number of crews so that we can pivot to a proactive maintenance stance, posture, and to more quickly respond to problems when they occur. Rates are punishingly high. Contributing to them being higher than they should be is a reliance on imported fuel and theft on the system. Adding renewables should help mitigate the fuel costs and volatility impact over time, and we are 100% behind that.
He says the company has also set out some additional guiding principles.
We are committed to decarbonizing the grid and being a willing partner of the Jamaican people in accomplishing that. We would like to position the company to be agnostic to people self-generating. We'd like to provide open and transparent access to the grid and fulsome support for electrifying transportation across the board and across the island.
The Jamaica Public Service has been in operation for 100 years.
Take it away.
And some more on energy, but this time
to my people, my beautiful, beautiful Jamaican people. So we see, and this is one of the reasons why I play these clips to define who a politician is and show comparisons between comparison and contrast between a politician and a political representative. Because the other few clips that I'm going forward is going to show you someone, you understand, who is doing real political representation. And I am showing Jamaica this because I want Jamaica to make an informed decision. That when you hear politician promises all of what they have promised, and absolutely, as it relates to going 8 acres, nothing, absolutely nothing being delivered. I am going to show you a political representative that made promise to get into power and indeed deliver. Now, let us look at this to show the contrast between the politician Andrew Holness and the mayor of Kingston, Mr. Swayne, who we have great respect for. Promise made and promise delivered. Now,
You can root out Twitter, man. You can root out, man. In chapter, brother, I'll get more space. Yeah, man. Okay, let's get our mic here. You can root out Twitter, man. You can root out, man. In chapter, brother, I'll get more space. Yeah, man. Okay, let's get our mic.
Switch it. Let me see.
So it's the debris that cleaning.
Okay.
From
All right.
there.
So take it away.
Fire victim.
Okay. So what we are going to show, right, during Delroy Williams' tenure, many of the markets, right, need cleaning up, right? And the markets were in terrible conditions. But we're going to show as it relates to how Mayor Swayne promised all what he had promised and deliver. And then, as he promised, right? So let us go into what Mayor Swayne speaking about as it relates to his first 100 days. Now, where I'm going to show to the people that I called someone and asked the person to take some photograph of the area upon completion. And the person went, took the photograph and sent them to me. I am going to show that photograph. But let us get into Mayor Swayne's first 100 days. That what he promised, Mayor Swayne delivered on everything. Now let us get into it.
Mayor Swayne's first 100 days in office started off with a bang. This is what 100 days in office looks like, Andrew Holness. Thank you, sir. Well done, Mayor Swayne, for doing the right thing and deliver on what you said you were going to do. Continue doing a great job serving the people of Jamaica. Full story follows.
Kingstonians, it is hard to believe that 100 days have already passed since I took office as your mayor. These early days have been a journey filled with hard work, listening, and learning. I want to take a moment to reflect on what we have accomplished together and give you a glimpse of what lies ahead. From the moment I was sworn in, I promised to bring more transparency to our administration, to improve essential services, to ensure that Kingston St. Andrew thrives for everyone who calls it home. I'm proud to share that we have made significant strides in these areas. Community engagement and decision making, transparency and accountability, improving market conditions.
Mr. Andrew Swayne, I like the work what he performed here in Crestwood Market.
He's delivering what he said he's going to deliver to the people.
Road repairs, improving waste management and garbage collection. These first 100 days have laid a strong foundation, but we are just getting started. Together, we are building a Kingston and St. Andrew that is resilient, vibrant, and inclusive. Stay tuned for exciting updates, and as always, my door is open to each and every one of you. Thank you, and let's keep moving Kingston forward.
What a breath of fresh air. And people, we have done for you what Mayor Swayne has done. Let us go and show, of course, as it relates to more of Mayor Swayne. Just overlay 10.
Okay, so you want that before?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so let us just, dive into it. What a breath of fresh air when it comes to representation politics. Whatever you promise and you deliver, right? That is what we want, right? For people to be working on behalf of the Jamaican people. Yes.
The story is that Crossroads Market has been neglected for many years. And having toured it a few years ago and seen the sorry state of the market, I was anxious to see improvements. And so when Mayor Swayne became the mayor of the KSAMC, I reached out to him and told him that, he needs to come and have a look at it, which he did. And he agreed with me that it was really a priority matter, right in the heart of Crossroads. And he jumped on the case with alacrity and has managed to find the resources to do a substantial improvement. The roadway on which you are standing, for example, was in deplorable condition. I mean, it was muddy, it was full of craters and so on. It was a very bad condition, especially when it was wet. The bathroom facilities were appalling, garbage collection was subpar and so on. He has tackled all of those critical areas. And he's also brought improvements inside the meat section, for example, where they have provided stainless steel tops to some of the vendors' stalls, which is the best in class kind of practice required by the public health authorities, and doing some paint work on the exterior as well to make it look better. So I encourage all customers in the corporate area, check out Crossroads Market and support the vendors. It's a new day and it's a new vibe, and the vendors are feeling very upbeat because the conditions in which they're working now are much more to their liking and much more in keeping with what they deserve. And there are many, many markets in Jamaica that need this kind of attention. And it's a priority because this is where business is conducted, and especially for the small business community and people who shop from them. So I wanted to say kudos to our new mayor. He's making a huge difference. And of course, I must big up the councillor for this particular region.
Good speech.
East Newland, who worked closely with Mayor Swayne. Well supported by her colleague, neighbour,
Mr. Greg, a long time, man.
So, for us here in South St. Andrew, we're very happy, and I thank the mayor for the work he has done early in his tenure, first 100 days project, and we're seeing the results. Thank you.
Just seeing this, funny, is a smile in my heart to know that even when I look on the amount spent, right, way less under $1 billion Jamaican dollars. And if it was for the Jamaica Labour Party, right, would have said they use money, you'd have heard about billions of dollars, or it costs billions of dollars. And to know that Mayor Swayne, right, utilized less than $1 billion and accomplished all what been accomplished is to tell you about the Jamaica Labour Party. So people, it's a breath of fresh air for all of us, right? Seeing what we're seeing. And let me tell you something. I don't just take that, right? I have friends, you understand, that close by the area. And I'm going to show you the photo that they went, because I said to my friend that, look, I don't want to just hear it, right? Go down, take some pictures and send it to me so I can present it to the people, so the people can understand what Swayne is been doing. So I'm going to share some of that photos with you as well. let us go and share the photos so the people can see these photos, right? These are photos, live photos that's sent to me. So there it is, people
working on the road.
That they are working on the road and cleaning up the place. Look how the place look at the beauty. Let us get into the second photo, right? There it is, right? What a difference, right? What a difference. Oh my goodness, it's just a breath of fresh air. And the third photo, there it is. You understand? Mission accomplished. They are working there. So it's a beautiful thing. Mayor Swayne, I have to say, right, you know, although I don't wear hats, but hats off to you, sir, when we talk about representational politics. Now, and I'm going to end the clip, to show Jamaican why. I'm going to end tonight to show Jamaica why we need to vote for Mark Golding. I have interviewed some of the candidates in the St. James region, right? Dwayne Vaz, brilliant candidate. Alan, brilliant candidate. These are Mr. Azan. Oh my God, Mr. Azan is a person out there that doing what needs to be done. We are talking about representational politics. These men need to get into Parliament to work on behalf of the people. So then, let me tell Jamaican people the sort of politics that we don't want. Play the clip. Okay. So this is the type of politics that we don't want.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness made a promise to complete 5 key things in his first 100 days in office.
Within our first 100 days of government, we will start the legislative process to fix the date for general elections in Jamaica.
Promises on top of promises. Can you guess how many were kept? Well, that didn't go too well. Let's see what he's promised in the last 100 days.
October 4, 2023. In 2020, Andrew Holness had promised to build 100,000 houses by October 4, 2023. This promise was scaled down to 70,000 units, but up to the end of 2022, a total of only 15,477 housing units had been built under his administration since 2016.
On October 6, 2023, 365 NSHP houses were promised, but only 160 homes were completed. On October 18, 2023, Holness promised he would lower the inflation rate, which was at 5.1%. But by November 2023, it was 6.3%, which was not only higher than October, but outside the BOJ's target range of 4.0 to 6.0%. On October 29, 2023, he promised significant investments to facilitate the transformation of the JCF. To date, many rank-and-file police personnel still await overtime payments. On October 30, 2023, Holness advocated for peace in the Middle East and the protection of human rights for all. Yet, Jamaica missed the UN General Assembly vote on humanitarian truce in Gaza on October 27, 2023. On November 2, 2023, Holness promised to make sure that all Jamaicans have access to water, then committed 50,000 water tanks, but said only 3,000 would be distributed.
On November 8, 2023, Andrew Holness promised to respond to the Integrity Commission about his 2022 and 2023 statutory declarations not being certified. As of February 2024, he has not updated the country, nor have they been certified.
On November 19, 2023, Holness promised $330 million for a special housing-related response for home repair. The next day, on November 20, 2023, Holness also promised to commit to address the issues and offer support to the residents affected by flood rains. As of February 2024, many residents are still waiting on said funds. On November 22, 2023, Holness repeated a promise he made in 2021, which was to provide 12,000 titles. On November 24, 2023, Holness promised $1.4 billion to clean up Jamaica. On November 25, 2023, Holness said that the government has shown they can keep the dollar stable. When he took office, the dollar was 121.22 to 1, and today the dollar is 156.80 to 1. On November 26, 2023, Holness promised to end energy poverty, lower light bills, and reliance on makeshift lighting solutions. On November 28, 2023, Holness repeated his promise to shift 50% of Jamaica's electricity to renewable energy, knowing that as he made the promise, the government had not sent off even one request for proposal in regards to this under the 8 years of his leadership. On January 8, 2024, Holness promised at minimum 500 new houses under the NSHP. On January 10, 2024, Holness promised to reimagine and reshape the way we utilize our markets island-wide. On January 17, 2024, Holness promised a Type 5 health center for Portmore, which is currently without a hospital. On January 24, 2024, Holness promised the 40 billion Spark program, which is supposed to revitalize secondary, parochial, and community roads across the island. On February 11, 2024, Holness promised to turn Clarkstown in Trelawney into a city. On February 12, 2024, Holness promised 1.52.0, indicating that he will increase the tax threshold. From 2016 until now, one thing remains constant: empty promises.
Let's hear from Holness himself as to why he made these promises.
So no government will be able to come and make false promises and hide the truth and tell you half truths and trick you into voting for them, and then when them win, them throw on poison for you.
Time come for a change.
There you have it.
Shopify's point of sale system helps you.
Gentlemen, right? That is the last clip for the night. So unfortunate, but you know how we do it on a Tuesday, right? And so then, you know, we just want to give people to make an informed decision as it relates to the evidence and the truthfulness of the source of our information. I will say to the Prime Minister that, Prime Minister, whenever you come on social media and you want to say that we are lying, please identify the lies to the people, right? So that the people can see where we are lying. If you're not coming out with that evidence, then at best, you just maintain your silence, because you know everything that we are saying is 100% true. All right. So once again, my ardent listeners, I thank you so much to pass through and spend your moment with Mystic Sensation. We 110% appreciate it. You have anything to say on it?
Okay, guys. So the lines open, the number is streaming across the screen. So anyone wants to call in and say anything, the line is open, so you can call in. Let me just also put the number in the chat, and it's a WhatsApp number. So just giving a few minutes for calls.
Okay, so that's it.
Okay, again, so thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Really appreciate everybody's continued support. Thank you, everyone, for supporting the movement, because it is indeed a movement. And as you notice across social media, we're trying to unite, because unity is strength, and try to speak in one voice, because it's all about our people back home and the struggles that they're facing, and wanting a brighter, better future for each and everyone, including the next generation, and a better Jamaica for all, because one day we are all going to be going back home, and we want to go home to a better Jamaica.
Yes, caller, you're on Mystic Sensation Live. Go ahead.
Good night, good night, good night.
Whoa, my friend, Wagwan, what's up?
Yeah, man. Me there, man. They are class, man, but me and I with the Rafi so 100.
Feel better soon.
All right.
Give you a presentation as usual.
Yeah, man.
And you know all this wicked man, I try to silent people.
Exactly.
You see? I try to silent people, but we don't work on, you know. I won't know, you know, but we got them a mistake. We don't have them pan legal. They can't sleep, they can't eat, they can't drink. It a get to the man a mad.
Yes.
He said in one cave me. And I say we salute to know. We don't want the Jamaican people like myself we barely can't tie two end together. See, you work one not to appreciate you when the day come. We'll live see God and do the right thing.
Same
When the man take 100 years to imagine just 100 years. What a change.
What a change.
So imagine when Mark go up there. Imagine the change will come. We don't expect Mark Golding to come feed with spoon and porridge and so. But he must put in infrastructure that we can work and see where we out. I don't that we have to do all this.
Exactly.
But he not do that. He not do that in town country in a drugs. That not a drug that used to come a long time. But he make it more blatant, like he get license of it, free transport drugs. And I'm alone a mistake.
That's
not
true.
by car, he suit police them. We need them to lock up. Tomorrow and look again, mistake. DPP, no. In any common sense person. You were working in an institution and you reach the age of 60. The Bible said the reason of strength are 70. And you reach 60. You know what? I'm going to spend it the next 10 years, eat and drink and relax.
Of course, of course.
And you and the government are fight. That before you say something is behind it.
Exactly.
We're hungry, she can't cover up. What is it? If you're a taxpayer-man person, a taxpayer government, just send you one guy and move on.
Exactly.
You haven't spent too much time and resources. You know,
money
to one drop dead.
To defend her.
So when you stroke, what on? But as we say, Mrs. I'm not to go work tomorrow. And so, thank for your good work. And you and everybody. And we tell her at all the while, there's, you know, find a good man, there's a good wife. Big up wifey.
Yes.
Thank you for giving us, giving into us.
All right.
Educate us to make we feel like there's a tomorrow. And God bless you. And we keep in our prayer.
Yes,
God bless
man.
you. And see you the 26th.
All right.
See you the 26th.
Remember me told you.
No work, me not a visa, me can't live here, but see, unless the internet gone down.
Yes, man.
No work,
We are there. Yes, man. Live in living colors.
Live and direct.
All right. Love your sister. Love you very much. Take care.
Love no more because you give me work.
All right.
While
So
things
true.
work, things will go on.
Yes, man. Blessings. Blessings. Love you, sister.
Okay, Miss P.
All right. There you go, Miss P. And I tell you, Miss P, you know, I'm strong supporter of the program. Really love her. All right. So big up yourself, Sister P. Right. So there you have it, my people. Right. And make sure we do the right thing, giving you, right, the evidences so that you can make an informed decision, right, and vote for our political representatives. All right. Once again, thank you. Really appreciate it.
Okay, guys. So remember to make sure that you go and register. So because election is coming up,
yes,
we will call it. So go and register so that on election day you can put your finger to the work. Because if you're not registered, then you won't be able to vote. And for those who are sitting on the fence, straddling the fence, I'm going to ask you, please, to get off the fence and choose a side, because politics is affecting your everyday life. So you can't say you're not going to get involved. You're already involved directly because our leaders are the ones who make the decisions that affects each and every one of us everyday life. The baby on the breast, the child going to school, the person working, the elderly, they make the decisions that affect each and every one of us. So please stop straddling the fence and choose a side.
All right.
Because it is time.
Yes.
With all that is happening, you need to choose a side.
And choose a side that defend nation building. Because we have seen Mayor Swayne first 100 days, right? And he had achieved what he had achieved. Using less resources, less capital injection to do it. It's amazing. From Mystic Sensation, I want to say, Mr. Swayne, a big thanks to you. We feel so proud. We feel your energy, and we're 100% supporting you, Mr. Swayne. Mr. Swayne, continue to do the wonderful job that you are doing. All right. And remember, catch me on the Titans Thursday. All right. Big up yourself.
So, blessings and one love to everyone, and safe travel on the gravel until Friday when we
Thursday
come back on
Friday.
Mystic Sensation Live, and Baron will be on the
Titans. All right. You know, we now miss the Titan for nothing. All right. So we did it. All right.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful and blessed night.